My name is Elicio Torres. Well, I found out about PlayStation Home through a friend from, I believe it was NBA 2K9 or either two, no, it was 2K9. And I saw a lot of people on Home, and I asked one of my friends who I played online with, well, what's Home? And he told me it was a place where, people from all over the world, they connected and they met. He said it was just like The Sims, except it's with real people. And out of nowhere, just one day I wanted to give it a try, and I got addicted. um, and home is a really friendly place, and I met a lot of people. I was in my first fam within like the first 2 or 3 weeks, I guess. And and before the PlayStation Home Church, I was in maybe two fams, and I had started my own fam, of course, and then that went down the drain. And then I can't remember how I met Miss Isbrook Ann, but she had her own business with her husband Yanye, and she just took me under her wing as her promoter, and we did, I guess you could say like MTV Cribs, but we did it through the PlayStation Home, and we would put the videos on her YouTube channel and along with the person's ID, and we just really became known. We made like a bunch of different videos, and we made like little movies, I guess, and that was all before the PlayStation Home Church. Yeah, I believe I was on Home about 2 years, about 2 years before, no, about 1 year before the PlayStation Home Church, because we started in 2011. Yeah. Okay. Well, I met Mr. Shekinah. Um, I want to say maybe in June. I think it was June, and our mutual friend named Kat, she had introduced us because of the work that I was doing with Isbrook and Yanye, and he was interested. So I went and we met, and we just hit it off. He really appreciated our work and what we did, and then it just so happens that we both had a likeness. We had a, I guess, an adoration for our faith, and we were very authentic in our faith. It wasn't anything fake or anything like that about our faith, and which made us connect even more. But Mr. Shekinah, Pastor Shekinah, Keith and Drake was a great guy. He said that he was a dad and he adored his grandmother. And we were going to do a memorial about his grandmother who had passed away earlier that year. So that's how we got in contact, and not too far from there, I believe in August. Then we heard about the church, and since I knew he was a pastor, he was a man of faith and an awesome man of God. I sent out a message to him. When I got home on my PS3, he said that he was interested. So me, him, and about 10 or 11 other friends went to this PlayStation Home church, and we just took the church under our wing. And it lasted about 3 years, almost close to 4 years. And I'm sad to see it. I'm sad to see it come to an end. But I'm glad that I met a great guy like Pastor Keith and Drake, Mr. Shekinah. Well, one thing about the PlayStation Home Church or the ministry period was that for a fact that it was online. So, and I know that each and every person are in different time zones, but you keep in touch with them and you work out details with them so that you can come together to do something, and not just do something, but do it for God and do it in excellency and in order, and do it decently, I guess, and make sure that everything is to a T, I guess. Maybe not perfect, but at least try to make it to a T. At least try to make it perfect. And a lot of things that we did accomplish, or a lot of things that I did see, is that once we started and took it under our wing, a lot of people started to come out. Throughout the years, throughout the months, throughout Bible study, which was on Wednesdays, throughout Sundays, Sunday services on Sunday afternoons or Sunday evenings, and with that, we really appreciate everyone who came out to support us, even throughout all these months, throughout all these years. But we seen that there was a need for God on this platform that we call the PlayStation, and God has graced us enough to give us enough strength and enough anointing and enough of His Word to go out and be ministers for Him on this platform. So, with that being said, we did the Great Commission as much as we could to our full ability, and a lot of people received it. A lot of people either needed God Himself, or a lot of people needed prayer. And whatever it is that they needed, whether if it was scriptures or just someone to intercede for them or their family member, we were there. And that's what made the difference. And that's what brought out more people. That's what made each and every member different, because they brought something or someone to the table. Someone someone who needed God or just wanted a closer relationship with Him. And through our obedience, through our, I guess, influence, through our impact, they received it and they came out regardless, whether they were sick, whether the football was on or not, whether they wanted to get on Netflix or not, whether if they were playing a game before church service, they still came out, and so forth. And I really thank all of those people who support us, and we appreciate all of you. And I speak from that as a man of God and as a young man that's growing up to be a godly influence. So we thank all of you, and we can't thank you enough. We can't thank you enough, and we can't thank God enough. So all praises go to Him, and we appreciate all of you over all the years, over all the months that of the sacrifices that you have done for this ministry. Well, one thing that the PlayStation Home Church taught me is that your work is never done. As a minister, as a man of God, as a woman of faith, as a woman of influence, whatever, your job is never done. And through the church, I would say, speaking to large crowds, I guess, even though it was like 30 or 20 people every Sunday, it really helped build my confidence in speaking to large crowds in my real life church, as well as with the youth ministry, as well as maybe introducing artists here in Cincinnati. So I would say that speaking to the PlayStation Home Church, being a minister of music, so to say, it really, I guess it gave me a deeper relationship with God because I knew that people depended on me to do this or to do that as a leader, as a minister of the PlayStation Home Church. Also, not just that, but it gave me not just that, but it gave me even more reason to pray. So not just speaking in front of crowds or having enough confidence or boldness to speak in front of crowds, but it also taught me to be a prayer warrior, and that's what I am today. So, so if it's anything that I have learned from this PlayStation Home Church or this PlayStation platform, is that your work is never done. People look to you as a leader, and you will always need prayer in every aspect of life. And don't get discouraged. And don't get discouraged. Be encouraged because people lean and depend on you as a leader. Okay. If I had one person to, I guess, give a shout out to or give a huge thanks to, it'd have to be to all of my supporters and people who believe in me. Whether on the PlayStation platform. Well, the group of people who I would like to give a huge thank you to is, of course, my real life pastor, NSF Tate, his wife, um, and all of the supporters on PlayStation Home who had my back. Ricardo Lambert, he had my back. Um, Herman Noble, Flyboy, he had my back. And they were just all amazed to see the work that we were doing on this platform. And they embraced it and they support it and they pray for me because they're my brothers and my sisters in Christ. So a big thanks and a huge shout out to all of the supporters, all of the supporters on the PlayStation and as well as in real life. So we thank all of you, and I appreciate all of you from the bottom of my heart, and I love all of you.
I found out PlayStation Home through my friend ELT13. He's my real life best friend, and we've known each other for years. And he got PlayStation in 2006, and we experimented with PS Home in 2007 because there was a lot of music that we enjoyed on there, and we thought it was going to be like Sims, which it was sort of like Sims, but it was more fun in its own way. And I think we played Home for after that for about 3 or 4 years, and then the whole hack came, and then that messed everything up. Okay, I joined the PlayStation Home Church through a man named Nin1074. We met each other in the Homelings when I came back to PlayStation Home in 2011. He brought me to his Hollywood Home Theater, and in that theater there was four of us, four homelings, and we was all hanging out, and you came in and you talked about your church, and it hit me, and I was like, maybe I should do this because I was going through a hard thing in my life, backsliding and struggling with a lot of things like alcoholism and drugs and so forth. So I went, and it changed me, and I am staying for a while. Oh, a couple of mentors, which was you, Pastor Shekinah, Minister Alicio. Drummer 35 was his Stone Cold preaching was very rewarding. I got to witness that a couple of times. It was a special thing to witness. When Redeem came in there, she was very interesting. She was a nice woman. And when Ebony Blue Eyes sung, it was that was nice. She was very good at singing. And Sapphire, she's been one of my main mentors for a long time because she's a very smart lady, and she put me out of a lot of situations that I didn't need to be in. And the main church through PS Home influenced my real life through a lot of things because it led me to wanting to learn more about the Bible, wanting to focus on the Word and the Gospel to a point where I wanted it to be my life, where that's what I wanted to do. And throughout that time, I struggled a lot and still fell sin, and I always came out of it because I try to overcome this world. Because when you're young like me, and you have all this media and all that kind of stuff, and all these people nagging down your throat, it's hard to overcome things. It's a struggle that some people think that you don't know, but you've been through it, and they think you haven't been through it. They think they're the only ones that go through that, but I can promise people I'm probably one of the worst sinners ever. That could just be my opinion, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is because I've struggled big time, and if it wasn't for the things that I learned through the PlayStation Home Church, I wouldn't have been able to overcome that in the first place because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have known what I've known. A lot of people know me on home and for a lot of things, different things, and the main people that I would like to like say a farewell to since it's all coming in, and I have no intentions of playing anymore unless we do church again. That'd be the only reason why I do play. But if since it's in, I would like to tell my friend KFC bye and well, I'll still be in touch with Sapphire, but one of my main friends, JJ, um, Face, Face made it. Most people look at Face and think they know him, but that man made a huge impact on my life. Just and whatever it be negative or positive, if it wasn't for those decisions and things that I did, it wouldn't have made me who I am now, and I wouldn't have did what I did. So all those little things make me who I am, and he was a huge influence for many years. Um, Another big person in my life, Beast. There's a lot of people that I know, so I could sit here and name people all day. From the point of Moon, I would like to tell everybody to not try to strive to be. Well, yeah. Either way, yeah. Either way, I'm me. But I would like to tell people, don't strive to be someone that you're not. When you come on here, it doesn't mean that you have to be fake or that you should be fake. You don't need to come on here to try and impress people with nonsense and try to fight each other and destroy each other. Because when you look at it and you look at the past of all the mistakes you make, it makes you hurtful. It makes you feel like you're in pain because you look at that no matter what you think inside your head, you know that was wrong and you don't want to do that anymore. Eventually, you will come to that point where you say that. There's no sense of being immature and making all these foolish mistakes, even though we all make mistakes. But the ones that you know that are wrong, you don't want to constantly make over and over again. I Nobody plays Barbies. No more of that because there's no sense of it. Everybody trying to be the best fam on the video game. There ain't no fam better than a church fam. That's a fact. If it wasn't for this church fam, I promise you I wouldn't be who I am. It's a fact. I've done a lot of things on home for all you new people coming to this game. Pastor Shekinah done a lot of things. He got to be in this huge Hall of Fame thing with the homelings and all them. He's a huge impact on home. A lot of people know Pastor Shekinah. They even tried to attack his church twice, I think, three times. I think they even put it on YouTube. The people try to do a lot of things to great people. I've ran many successful fams. I even got to run one of the original fams on PS Home and did it well to where a lot of people know who I am and what I've done. I've made a lot of mistakes, learned from them, and I don't intend on making them again. So what I encourage is that no one try to do things to hurt. Try to strive to build people rather than destroy. Because if we had the same intentions that the devil has to destroy us, and if we did that to build people, you would like. I think you've said this before in your past, Pastor. We would have a revival if people did that instead of wanting to kill and hate and bash and make fun of and bully and have create these worldly words that make no sense and sexist and all that kind of stuff. It's all nonsense. All this postmodern illiteracy. It doesn't need to be. You don't need to let this world control you. Just grow up, love each other, and build each other up to be better people, so that you don't have to be defeated by this world. That's what I want people to understand. You don't have to be so negative. And herein I do exercise myself to have always a conscience void of offense towards God and towards man. Meaning, you don't have to let all this negative things and all this world putting all these thoughts and pressures of you wanting to do all these hurtful and spiteful things to others, and all these negative thoughts towards God, thinking that God's the one for all these huge problems, and he's not. Be positive, be of peace, don't be of hate, be of love. Love everyone, every single person. Love them, no matter your haters, the ones that try to kill you. Just love them all, because God is the one that's in control. Vengeance is His, not yours. That's what I would like to say.